Hi, welcome to Smosh Reads Reddit Stories. I'm Shane, and today's theme is confessions. We have some wild confessions today. Some, my producers say, are some of the wildest confessions we've ever had on this show. They've been waiting for months for the right episode, and that's this one right now. And I'm joined by two people who have confessions to make, Chance and Arasha. Go.
I'm a virgin.
I don't like truffle, okay?
Me neither.
What?
Oh. It's too powerful. It just takes over the whole meal.
Whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Especially on the truffle oil. Oh,
Get out of here.
disgusting.
It's like horseradish.
I like horseradish.
Well,
Maybe it's just how it's being applied. I think sometimes people go overboard. Maybe
Yeah.
they need to just do a little bit.
I think a little bit goes a long way.
It does, but just that's why they need to use even less. Like a tiny. I love truffle, so sorry. So are we ready?
Yes. Active listening caps on.
This comes from September of 2025. I gave an escort 3 Bitcoin in 2013, and I still obsessively check her wallet address. I don't know much about Bitcoin, so I'm guessing
It's
you're able to
a
look at
lot
other
now.
people's app, like in the apps, you can see what other people's.
Oh,
I don't know. We'll get into
seems
this.
dangerous.
Okay. This is probably weird, but I need to get it off my chest. Back in 2013, I paid an escort with 3 Bitcoin. It was worth maybe $300 total at the time, so it seemed like a reasonable transaction. Here's the messed up part. I still check that Bitcoin address regularly, have been for 11 years now. Those Bitcoin just sat there untouched all this time. She probably had no idea what they were or how to access them. Recently, I noticed movement on the address. She's been transferring small amounts to Coinbase, probably finally figured out how to cash them out. Do you know what 3 Bitcoin is worth today? Around $350,000. I've watched that address occasionally over the years, wondering if she knew what she was sitting on. Part of me hoped she'd forgotten about them entirely so I wouldn't have to think about the money. But now she's cashing out and I can't stop checking the blockchain explorer. It's like watching someone win the lottery with money that used to be mine. The worst part is I have 0 Bitcoin now. Spent it all back as play money and never even tracked any of it properly. Back then I didn't care about taxes or records, but now when I look at what I let slip away, I realize how badly I handled the whole thing. She probably doesn't even remember me, but she's about to be $350K richer because of a transaction I made over a decade ago. I know this is unhealthy, but I can't stop tracking the address. It's become this weird obsession with what could have been. The thought I could have had so much more money had I not spent it all on futile things. Although I have made some progress in that regard. These days I keep better track of everything because I don't want the same kind of regret to sneak up on me again. Using proper tools like awaken.tax makes it less of a headache because it pulls in my wallets and exchanges automatically. This becomes an ad.
Yeah, whoa.
It's not about fixing the past, but at least I don't have to obsessively check some old address to remind myself what I lost. Anyone else have financial decisions from their past that they can't stop thinking about? This is eating at me, and I don't know how to let it go. Okay.
But it's like not your money anymore.
It's not your money. It was a gamble, which
Yeah.
is what Bitcoin is. It could have been worth nothing by
Right.
nowadays. It happens to be worth $350,000.
And it's also a transaction. It's like it took 10 years, but it's like you paid. It's no longer yours. It's theirs. Like whatever
Yeah.
they did with that $300, maybe they bought a bond or like it's the same thing.
Right.
Right.
He seems to be
Yeah.
aware that, yes, he knows what actually happened, but I know of many stories, some from people I know and most I read online, of people who had Bitcoin and then either got rid of it back in the day or spent it on dumb things or lost it. There's that famous one where that guy had a hard drive with a ton of Bitcoin and he threw it away and he knew the dump that it was put in and he spent like $1 million excavating this dump to try to find it and they never found it. And it's just this hard drive has millions upon millions of dollars in it.
Heartbreaking.
You can have Bitcoin on a hard drive?
I'm not an expert on Bitcoin, but it's kind of just data. I don't understand it. I'm not going to pretend like I do.
Right.
But it's stuff that's worth something.
Hey, I want to see a Bitcoin heist. Honestly, I kind of want to see.
I'll be honest with you. It's probably happening all the time because it's untracked. It's not governed. Like that's why it's kind of worth something.
And you know what? Now I want to see. Remember that episode of Fairly Odd Parents where they go into the internet, or maybe they go into TV. They go into
a video game?
They go into TV.
Is that it?
They go into TV and they're like channel surfing and shit. I want to see digital heist. People go into the digital world and have to like Tron it up.
That's what that new Tron movie should have been about.
Yeah.
Bitcoin.
Literally what it should have. Or like NFTs.
Yeah.
Hitcoin.
That's good.
Bitcoin. That's movie. Let's write it.
Let's write it. Let's make it.
The Italian hit job coin. Wait,
job
hit
coin.
job. No.
Well.
No.
No, but it definitely just sounds like that's the risk you make when you do a transaction of any kind. If you give somebody like the shoes that you have on, like later on they might be worth more, and it's like, yeah, you're gonna regret that, but you never could have known.
Yeah, I think everybody has some version of this in life. It's painful to like see and know.
Right.
But
hope it was worth it.
That's how things
I'm glad
work.
she's cashing it out now.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah, good for her.
Yeah.
Nice. Because that was also risky of her back in the day to be like, I'll accept this as payment.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
thing
that's true.
Because he probably paid her thinking like, this is probably not going to be worth as much as $300. Like maybe, I don't know, but they agreed to it.
Yeah.
But it worked out in her favor.
Wow.
She knew.
Good for her.
She knew. She was a Bitcoin investor. All right, some comments. Just tell people that once you had a $350,000 escort and call it a day. Someone said, you didn't give her $350,000. You gave her $300. You could have easily just bought more Bitcoin for $300 back then. Even if you had, you never would have held it this long, though. That's true. Someone said, I have a friend who is an aging stripper and is struggling right now trying to get out of the business. You can't strip forever. It's a young person's game, so she's trying to transition into makeup school and cosmetology. But it's a real struggle. I have to imagine that for sex workers, it's the same deal. I know you are full of regret, but at the same time, know that you are probably helping someone transition into the next part of their life in an easier way.
I was gonna make a joke about old strippers. It was less of a joke, more like old guys and old girls want old people dancing for them, too. Why are we so ageist?
That's true.
Yeah.
Like an old folks home and you have like old strippers?
Wait,
You drive past like a retirement home, but there's tons of lights, and you're like, is this a strip club?
Right.
Yeah, I kind of like it. I kind of dig it.
But I think you like the minimum to get in has to be like 60, 65, you know?
Sure.
Just in case like young people like want to get in on that.
Yeah.
Not me.
Can't have that. Can't have that.
But like,
Can't have that.
yeah. If a 50-year-old wants to go hang out with like 70-year-olds, let them go hang out with 70-year-olds.
Okay,
Like,
50 feels more reasonable. I just feel like we should put a cap on it so like young people can't get in there.
So like, it's like 18 plus, but then instead it's like 68.
Yeah.
Wait, whoa.
Whoa.
We'll figure out the logistics of
Okay.
old people strip
Thank you.
clubs.
Who are we
Thank you.
keeping out and who are we keeping in?
Who's allowed to go?
I think 30 and under can't go.
So you're not allowed, but I am.
I'm not allowed either.
Sorry, I can't get in. Come on in.
No! They're like, you're working tonight? I didn't know you had a shift. I'm like,
What are you doing? What are you doing out of your bed, Chance?
Bingo! It's like, this episode of Red Stories is brought to you by ZocDoc. Look, we're all human, and it's easy for things to slip our minds. You get caught up in your daily life, and before you know it, it's the end of the year, and you completely forgot to schedule your annual checkup, your biannual teeth cleaning, and your check-in with a therapist. Let's make it easy with ZocDoc. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. And I'm not kidding when I say instantly. Appointments made on ZocDoc happen fast, typically within 24 to 72 hours of booking, and you can find same-day appointments. That's a game changer. With ZocDoc, you can filter for doctors by your insurance, location, and whatever specialty you're looking for. I had delayed doctor's appointments for a long time until I switched over to ZocDoc, and I saw how simple the app was. I had all my doctor's appointments set for that year, and I've been pretty good about it ever since. Stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/pitreddit to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/pitreddit. ZocDoc.com/pitreddit. Back to the show. Our next confession. This comes from the subreddit that I've never seen before, long distance.
Oh.
Subreddit probably all for long-distance relationships. That actually seems like a really good subreddit. This was posted in October of 2025. I, a 21-year-old woman, love my long-distance boyfriend, 21-year-old man, but I'm ashamed of how he looks, and it's eating me alive.
Oh.
Okay. I, 21-year-old woman, never thought I'd be the kind of person ashamed of someone they love, but here I am. My long-distance boyfriend, who's 21, came to visit me at college last week, and instead of feeling excited, I felt anxious. The physically sick kind of anxious about being seen with him. No one here has ever seen him before. I've always refused. When he came, I took him to spots I'd never even been to, just so there was no chance of running into anyone I knew.
Oh, God.
I wanted to show him my world, but not really let him in. The thing is, I don't even think he's that bad looking. He just has a weird beard, yellow smoker teeth, and an awkward body shape that doesn't do him any favors. Still, I'm genuinely attracted to him. I wouldn't be as intimate with him if I wasn't. The sex is amazing. I just also know he's not on the same level of attractive that people expect when they look at me. For context, I'm 5'3", skinny yet curvy. I have a big ass, flat stomach, 34 double D chest. I have white, straight teeth, clear skin, done hair, perfect makeup. I look good in tight dresses.
This is crazy.
Laser vision. I can fly. I take pride in that. I work hard to keep myself put together because my world requires it. I'm in PR. I'm in a regionally and nationally recognized sorority, specifically my chapter for how amazing we are. My life revolves around image, presentation, perception. So yeah, when I'm standing next to someone who doesn't fit that image, the disconnect feels huge. He's short, 5'8", thin, smells like cigarettes, and has that slightly offbeat look that makes people stare a second too long. God damn, bro.
Did she like this person?
She said the sex is amazing.
She does not.
I know I'm more conventionally attractive than him, and I know people who would look at us and think, why him? I can't bring him to the galas I attend or with me to the conventions where I win awards. I'd be taller than him in heels, and people would be like, what the f***? He just can't be the man on my arm because he doesn't fit the role. That's why I don't tell people about him. I never call him my boyfriend. He's always just a guy I talk to. No one truly knows how emotionally connected we are. Everyone in his life knows me. They know he loves me and would do anything for me. His family, his friends, they all root for us. But on my end, if someone asks if I'm seeing anyone, I say I'm single. I act like he doesn't exist. And yet he does. He's fun, gentle, and endlessly loving. He's my boyfriend even if no one knows it. When one of my coworkers accidentally saw us, she went back and told everyone how short and chopped he looked. He asked why I'd waste my time on a bartender when I have so much going for me. She also said she couldn't believe I'd let someone like that defile me. I laughed it off, but it hit harder than I wanted to admit. The truth is, I've spent years mastering how to be seen. I know exactly how to dress, smile, and move through rooms where being admired is currency. He's not built for that world, and somehow he's also the only person who's ever really seen me. I don't know how to make those two versions of my life exist at once. The one the world applauds and the one that's actually real. I hate that I hide him, and I hate that I care this much about what people think. But I do, and it's breaking my heart. Okay. Damn. Number one, damn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got that out of the way. Thank you.
I'm trying to separate. There's the part of me that's hearing this. I'm like, this is awful. You're
Yes.
awful. I'm also like, this is an anonymous post where you're confessing that you know this is awful. I
Sure.
think she's reconciling with, there's an awful part of my brain, and I'm hating it.
What's the awful part of her brain?
That she loves this guy and like she feels the attraction, but she cares more about society's view of her.
I think
than
it's
her actual
Yeah,
feelings.
I think that's just the latter. Like just the second part of what you said, I think, is the awful thing in her brain that she needs to remove, which is the idea of what other people think. I think that is what's ultimately stopping her, because she's saying the sex is amazing, she is attracted to him. It's that thing that's like, would you rather be with the person that you find super, super attractive, but the world thinks is unattractive, or the other way around?
Yeah.
And she, I think, would rather the opposite. She wants the world to see her with this conventionally attractive, large, masculine man. And even if she would like be unhappy, she would be like, well, at least appearance-wise, we look as if we are prim and proper. And that's what she cares more about.
It also feels, a part of me feels like honestly, it feels like she's projecting a little bit. She doesn't know what other people think of him. It sounds like what she thinks of him, what she's thinking other people. It's her own. Has she asked people what they think he looks like?
Her one friend saw him and said he's short and chopped.
Yeah, short and chopped. That's true. That's true.
And she said, "I can't believe you'd let someone like that defile you."
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
Which
but it
is-
hit home.
yeah.
But it's like it hit her own insecurities of what she's thinking everyone is thinking, what she's putting on everyone else.
Totally.
And it was confirmation bias. It's exactly what she wanted to hear.
Totally.
She's like, oh, so they do think my worst fear, which is he's not attractive enough.
She's the part of her brain that's viewing a partner as an accessory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, this is just an accessory. It's like, this is you. You're only thinking about yourself.
Yeah.
She seems to be kind of admitting that.
Yeah.
I think so, but I wonder what would happen if all the people in her life were like, oh my gosh, he's so attractive, he's like so great for you. Like, would that flip something in her head, or would she be
wonder.
like, they're lying to me and
Maybe
not
she
accept
might,
it?
yeah.
On a human level, it sounds like they chemically connect. It sounds like that part isn't what she can control, but she's observing and analyzing it. She's zooming out and looking at herself with this guy and being like, this doesn't fit, it doesn't look right, I need somebody else, somebody different. Her priorities, I think, are just off. And she cares too much about other people and what they might think about her relationship.
And her network sounds awful, right? Like, what her friend said immediately
Yeah.
is so horrendous. If she woke up tomorrow and she didn't look as perfect as she looks, I'm like, yeah, it sounds like your entire friend group would abandon you in a second. It doesn't sound like he would. I don't think he cares. It sounds like he truly loves you, but your network doesn't.
Yeah.
They view you as an accessory too.
And unfortunately, she values that. She the way that she speaks about her extracurriculars, like her sorority, like she has value in it being nationally recognized. She has value in her having perfect makeup. Like, I think those are the things that she's putting on a pedestal. But when I hear that she is describing herself as single and not even calling her boyfriend, it doesn't seem like a badge that she's proud to wear. She doesn't actually love this person.
Right.
Because if you love them, then you'd want to flaunt them. You'd want to be like, I'm so happy in the position that I'm in.
Yeah.
And she's hiding that.
Well, I was gonna say the way that she talked about herself, I think she has a lot of pride and a lot of self-love and a lot of a sense of accomplishment and drive. And the way that she talked about him, it was just like, I guess he's kind of attractive. I know he loves me.
It's hard to know from her description because she doesn't give us much besides like his appearance.
Exactly.
And just being like, I don't like his appearance. It's like, she does talk about him being like, he loves her and cherishes her. It sounds almost like what she wants is like, oh, but the love and cherishing isn't as important to me as like the shallow stuff. It's
Or
like,
just like that's a basis.
true.
Right. But there's nothing that she's able to pull about him. There's no information that we got of, he's great with his family. Oh, I love the way that he jokes
Touches
around.
me, sends me gifts.
Yeah.
The way he spends time with me.
There's
the way,
no specificity
No.
in, like, it just
was
doesn't
nothing.
sound like the way you write about somebody that you love.
It just sounds
true.
like she's comfortable.
If this was a friend of mine and she was saying this, and I'd be like, if you really love this guy, like, he deserves better than this.
Yeah.
Like, you, whether you love him or not, you're not really loving him. You're treating him so awfully. Like, to hide someone like that is so cruel.
Yeah.
If he knew this,
If someone was embarrassed to be with me or embarrassed to see me out or embarrassed to have me in front of their friends, I would not want to be with that person.
Right.
Right.
I would at least deserve to know you felt that way.
yeah, and you add the layer, like, this is long distance. Like, there's a sacrifice being made here.
Yeah.
Of, like, he's somewhere else, like, committing to her. And it's just like, don't do this to him.
It's
you
a
know? Let
disservice to
go.
him. Yeah. And also, I mean, the qualities in which she describes as well, it seems like it's the connotation that she's placing on it, right? She says stuff like his height, his like body type and stuff, which another person could appreciate and love.
Yeah, man.
Like they
That's
could
so
be like,
true.
oh my God, that's the perfect type for me. Oh my God, that's the body type that's flattering next to me. Like you're robbing him of the opportunity
Right.
of finding his perfect match.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's sad. I mean, she's young, so hopefully it's time to like grow out of it.
How
But
old is she?
She's 21. But
Oh,
it's like,
they're both so young.
They're both so young, but it's just sad that like, and you see it a lot in LA of just like they're viewing themselves as like ranking themselves based on their appearance. Just like, you can let that go.
Yeah.
And you'll feel so much better the more you're able to let that go. Like,
Yeah.
she's imprisoning herself in this shallow world.
And look, I get it, right? Like it's college, right? It seems like it's the university of, you know, looking to your friends and being like, how do you perceive me? And am I cool? Am I nice?
Yeah.
Am I this kind of person? So I think she's just placing a lot of value on her status right now.
Of course.
So she's looking at it rather than just being present and being in it.
Yeah, I respect her honesty. I mean, obviously it's an anonymous confession, but like, it's a valuable thing to like say this all out loudly and transparently, because we can't pretend like society doesn't every day like push this on all of us, right? Like we're fed this every day. And so she's struggling with that, but I think she needs to let that guy go because this is awful.
Yeah.
Comments. Someone said, honestly, let him go and find someone that actually appreciates him and loves him for who he is and wants to show him off to the world, because that's what people deserve. OP left a comment saying, I showed him around my campus job because it's one of the coolest buildings, and every single last one of my coworkers gave me that "are you sure" look. One called him a troll, the other called him an ugly rat, and another said a school shooter on heroin. Now, as ugly as I may be aside from the comments, those were unprovoked statements from people, my coworkers, and it low-key did hurt because I do really love being with him. It's hard to shake comments when it's being thrown in your face, and rudely at that. There are many more things that were said, but I feel like those really stuck out to me because those were odd things to say. When I came back to work and asked who's on the rotation and then get a response, then how was your weekend with your ugly rat? Like, that's a crazy thing to say to anyone about anyone. Like, I'm not delusional on this part. That was plain rude, but I digress.
Okay.
Is this campus in hell?
I also need to know what she is saying. I need to know what she's saying because there is no way in that 3 different people would say that about, it does seem like hell.
Yeah.
So I need to know what she is saying about her boyfriend or what she
Right.
has said in the past that she's bringing them in and they feel comfortable enough to say this.
Truly, yeah. What's
How
the
is she-
preface?
Yes.
Like,
what-
oh, guys, like, I'm bringing my boyfriend around. Like, he is, like, you know, not very attractive. So, like, when you see me with him, like,
She's setting him
you
up
know,
for failure.
Right.
Yeah.
As
It's not
opposed to
fair.
like I just feel like you're right. Like, who would genuinely say that?
No.
If you brought your partner with no other words said before, even if they were like not as attractive as you in somebody's eyes, I don't think your coworker
No.
would say something like, "Oh, who's this ugly rat?"
People are not that malicious, and no.
There has to be-
I believe in the good of humanity.
I
Yeah.
There's
get
no way.
that. There's something suspicious of just like all of these people just like said the worst thing.
Troll and rat and heroin shooter.
what
no.
the
Unless you're literally bringing a rat to the
Yeah.
campus,
Yeah.
like I don't think anybody would speak up and say their truth.
It feels like she was dreading him coming and like wanted to like put out feelers in the warning, being like, oh, he's like kind of like it's just like I'm like yeah. And I've had this experience before where people, especially in college, people are like, my boyfriend's coming in town. He's so annoying. Like we're doing long distance. Like they're setting them up for failures. Like I'm not gonna be with him forever. Like it's just like we're like right now. And
Yeah.
or this happens all the time. The breakup trip. They come so they can break up with each other in
Yeah.
person and then they leave. Or even like that long distance that happens. It's like you go to their city and then they break up with you and send you home.
And you were kind of saying this earlier, like she's trying to find every excuse to be like, I'm going to break up with this guy. It's just like,
Yes.
just break up with him. Good God.
And she's
Don't
putting up
put
like
him
a
through this.
defense as well. She's
Yeah.
like, before you all judge me, I need to protect myself and judge myself and my boyfriend first, so then all of you can't come up with any of these crazy things. And no one was gonna say anything, but she is feeling all of these things and she's bringing them out. And before anyone else can say it, she's calling him an ugly rat and a troll. A school shooter on heroin is crazy work.
Crazy
It's criminal
thing to
work.
say. That is awful. Wow. Well, there's no update or anything, but sounds like a miserable mindset to be in.
Awful.
I can't imagine.
And I'm sure this man's is not that beat.
I'm sure if we saw him, we'd be like, that's a normal man.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's the asshole, I guess.
Yeah, so she sucks. And they also say 5'8", 5'7", they say that's the best height. in general. They say that.
See, that was what I wanted to say.
They did mention that. So, and he smokes cigarettes, which means he's cool as f.
True.
5'8" guy smoking cigarettes.
Mm-hmm. And yellow
Coolest
teeth.
man,
You know,
and yellow
he's been
teeth.
using them.
Yeah, he's been using them.
It's good.
And he uses those.
Yeah.
I think no matter who she ends up dating or marrying or whatever, she's gonna struggle for the rest of her life if she doesn't get out of this headspace, because people are gonna have things to say at some point, or you're gonna worry about what people are thinking at any point. If you're letting that govern you, you're screwed.
She's gonna need that approval with any partner.
Oof. All right, moving on. Next one comes from True Off My Chest, December of 2021. My boss just asked me not to wear my normal pants to work, and I've never been angrier.
What?
I wear normal pants to work. Our dress code is business casual, and I've gotten myself sized by a reputable tailor. All my slacks and chinos are from normal brands you'd find at Macy's and are normal/relaxed fit. However, yesterday, my boss called me into her office and told me I would no longer be allowed to wear the pants I normally wear to the office and would have to wear something less revealing. Apparently, my bulge is inappropriate for the workplace. I have a normal-sized penis. I actually measured it to make sure I wasn't crazy. And I'm pretty close to the US average. Would a woman with large breasts be told she can't wear anything but baggy clothes? Would she be told by her boss that she must wear nothing but restrictive sports bras to work? I doubt it, especially in my workplace where women 2 seats down from me wear far more provocative clothing than my damn slacks. I asked her, what should I wear instead? These are my size. And she said, just go buy something looser or get a bigger size. I'm not rebuying my entire collection of work pants. Go ahead and report me to HR. Let's see them try to fire me for having too much dick.
That's awesome.
Edit. People have been asking to see my pants.
Yeah, I need to see a picture of the bulge.
Here's the exact pants I wore on the day of the incident. Note that my member is sitting to the right of the zipper.
Ew!
Relative to the viewer.
Show us the dick.
You can't see anything. Pants. That's a.
Is that his hog?
I don't know
On
what.
the right,
oh, no.
on the right.
Oh, he said his hog. I can't see his dick.
Can't see his.
No,
I
yeah,
thought
you
that
can.
was it.
It's
I thought that was it. I was like, holy
No.
shit.
It's this thing, this indent.
I don't think that also could be just a crease or.
I can't even tell, bro.
I'm gonna be honest. This is a photo of just any man wearing pants.
Yes.
Wait, let
correct.
me get another look at it, actually.
Zoom in. Zoom
Look,
in.
is
I'm thinking that's
Normal
Shaft.
chinos.
What if that?
I don't think it is.
Look.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it is.
No way.
They've lost their mind.
Okay, I guess a lot of things could be the dick here, and maybe
The
that's the
fact
point.
that we can't definitively see the bulge means there's nothing to worry about
no.
here.
This poor man had to take this lower body shot and post it on Reddit.
Of his tapered chinos.
Right. Well,
That's the most normal picture of pants I've ever seen.
yeah.
It is one of the most normal things I've ever seen.
It is normal.
It's like if you were like, it's a Halloween costume of the Onward guy. I'd be like, yeah, it's the pants.
Imagine if the dad from Onward had a huge bulge.
Just like, Dad,
Jesus
no.
Christ, Dad!
That's crazy.
Onward and upward.
That's good.
He goes on this rant at one point about like, would a woman with large breasts be told she can't wear anything? I'm like, I think you have.
Yeah.
I think unfortunately.
Yeah, they would.
He
that is
lost
very
us a little
common.
bit there. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think when he's kind of started to compare to other people, I think lots of people maybe experience this kind of, sort of dress code situation. I do think he's in the right in that those pants seem fine to me.
Yeah.
He's a shower. What can he say? It seems like people are probably just trying to look for a problem there.
Yeah.
Because that's literally what I think we were doing was we were searching. And it's not obvious, it's not clear upon first glance. You're not like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And therefore, I just feel like that is enough to dismiss it.
Yeah.
I could see a NARB situation where he's getting a no apparent reason boner, and people like, he doesn't even know it. He doesn't even know it, and it's like around the office, and the lady's like, "Oh, he's got f***ing boner again," and it's like hard in his pants. And so then when he goes to the office, then he doesn't have a boner anymore.
Yeah,
and
true.
It's like, okay,
Is there a photo with the boner?
is there a
No.
photo with the boner?
No, there's not. No, I think
There
this
is.
guy's just being treated unfairly. If everything that he's saying is true, I think this is really unfair.
Sorry, I was like, Shane's like, yeah, there's a picture of the boner. He goes to his own pictures. We're like,
What do you guys
Shane,
think about this one?
Like,
Where's the pants?
oh, he has a full-on pic here.
That could be the reason. Like, it could be that, like,
And he's,
during
like,
the
taking it
day.
now.
I don't think so. I think the boss would bring that up.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
She's asking him to change his entire wardrobe.
Sure.
That is crazy
Yeah,
talk.
yeah.
She's saying he needs to wear different pants. He's wearing completely normal pants.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is as unfair as when bosses do this to women.
Yeah.
And he's dealing with the same situation. Comments, I would be concerned that someone stared at my crotch enough to notice that. He said, I am too. I am in a long-term relationship and planning to propose early next year, so I can't afford financial or emotional turbulence right now. She didn't say who exactly brought this concern to her, so as far as I know, it could have been anyone in the office. Someone said, you need to complain to HR and ask her why she's staring at your crotch. Send an email so it's documented. Maybe even include this picture and the fact that they're tailored specifically to your professional fit. That's ridiculous. Someone said, big-breasted woman here. I have absolutely been told to wear different clothing, and no, I was not showing cleavage. They just stand out. However, I totally back you. That is some absolutely ridiculous shit. If anything, you should go to HR. I agree with that. I think, my interpretation, I'm like, this feels like harassment.
Yeah, and he got the pants tailored. It's not like he was, like, guessing and
Yeah.
went too tight. Like, those are supposed to fit his body.
Yeah, absolutely. This episode of Reddit Stories is brought to you by Aura Frames. Now, I don't want to brag, but I think I've become a pretty good gift giver over the years. And this year, I wanted to even up it a notch, right? I want to make sure I'm giving the best of the best gift. And you know what was rated the #1 gift by Wirecutter? Aura Frames. Their frames are incredible. They have unlimited storage. They can come preloaded with photos and videos, so when you give them as a gift, it's already got tons of memories on it to be displayed. It can come in a gift box. You can preload it with a message. It's the perfect gift for just about anyone, really. I gave one to my mom a few years ago, and she was obsessed. If I could make a recommendation, I would say the Carver matte frame, go with that one. Pretty solid. I'm just saying, if you want to make this holiday season special for someone, give them the gift of Aura Frames. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter, by using promo code PITREDDIT at checkout. That's auraframes.com, promo code PITREDDIT. This deal is exclusive to listeners and frames sell out fast, so order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Back to the show. Update. I contacted 2 well-known lawyers in my area and got a consultation from them about my situation. They both thought that while I was sexually harassed, the case wasn't bulletproof, as there was little evidence and no pattern of abuse. They then also warned me about going to HR without any evidence, as it can cascade into me losing my job in unexpected ways. Fine. Since I needed evidence and a pattern of abuse, I first wanted to read up on what standards my company has set for my managers when it comes to dealing with sexual harassment. I requested from our online learning catalog to take the sexual harassment and tough conversations courses that are normally required only for managers. In the tough conversations module, there was a scenario where a male supervisor needed to ask a female employee to correct her work outfit, as it did not meet the company's dress code. The module in plain English states that the supervisor is not to intervene and to refer the issue to HR. I assumed that the inverse, a female supervisor reprimanding a male's outfit, would follow the same standards. I then sent an email to my boss asking her to follow up on our previous conversation. I wrote, "To boss, I want to clarify some things regarding our previous conversation. Please confirm whether or not my understanding of your statements is correct. My pants violated our dress code by being too tight and revealing my bulge. The issue pertains to all my pants, not a specific subset of my wardrobe. This is a requirement from management and not a request. Please get back to me." It took over a full day, but the response I got was, "Yes, I did tell you to fix your wardrobe. This is not a request." My face when I immediately replied, "To boss, if management is demanding that I replace such a large amount of work clothing, it must be done at the expense of company name. Please let me know if this is possible, as we will have to work something else out if it isn't." And her response later was, "This can be done, but I must be with you to supervise your shopping. Check my schedule for my availability."
What?
Okay, what?
They want to shop together?
Good Lord, suddenly the she wants to bang you theories seemed less crazy. I backed up the emails to a personal account and sent everything to HR. Less than 2 hours later, I received a phone call asking me to come to HR immediately and drop my work unless it was time critical. I complied. I was told they were taking this matter very seriously and that I should take the rest of the day off. I came back to work today and boss is gone. I was told right before lunch that she had been placed on administrative leave pending a full investigation and that I shouldn't worry. It's against company policy to engage in any form of professional retaliation. I sit here now like a king on a porcelain throne, telling you about my victory during my post-lunch dump. Bye-bye, boss lady. All right, man, don't. Now I feel harassed.
You had us.
Whoa. She's like, yeah, and I need to supervise your shopping. It's like, all right, you went to that.
You have a crush on this man.
Yeah, damn.
What?
Wow.
I need to supervise your shopping is unbelievable.
She put that in writing.
Yeah.
She wrote that out.
And that's so stupid.
God damn.
That's so dumb.
Yeah.
Like, she thinks he has no, I mean, he played his cards right by not being like, I lawyered up and I know the truth and whatever, and just being like, hey, just want to make sure I have all of this right. Is this what happened? So that she could, in paper writing, we could have, yes, that is what I said.
Yeah. Damn. I'm glad for him that she was dumb and did that, because if she didn't, I wonder, like, if she had not responded to his emails that way, or responded being like, I didn't say that, like, he would be stuck. But hey, happy for him that this all worked out, and good on him for doing what he did.
I mean, I predict that she would have been persistent, though, in other ways. Even if she were to clean up her language on email, I think she would have had another meeting and been like, hey, we need to still fix this problem, and there would have been more discourse there.
Yeah.
But
if she's moving the way she's moving, she's gonna keep doing this to him, or eventually do it to someone else if she hasn't already done it to someone else before.
Right.
Like, she's abusing her power.
I'm just trying to figure out what her, like, end game was. Like, she's like, oh, if I tell him to change his pants, he'll be into me. Like, was the plan always to go shopping?
Maybe in her mind, I don't know. I have no idea, but I'm just throwing out thoughts. Is like, maybe just by mentioning his bulge, she thought like, oh, I'm noticing this, you need to change because of this. And he's like, he fortunately interpreted just like literally, and he's like, wait, I have a normal sized penis, whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe in her head, she's like saying it as a compliment.
She's like, I can see your big penis.
Yeah, he'll be into this.
It also could be a power play.
It probably is that. Just controlling him, and she gets off on that.
Yeah.
I don't actually know.
Right.
Doesn't matter. She's getting fired.
She's gone.
Hopefully. Administrative leave, at least.
She's gone now.
But he's a king.
And he took a dump.
He's taking a dump.
That was my favorite part.
Not mine. All right. Next story. This is a confession that comes from September of 2025. I lied to my pick-me friend, and she got a tattoo based off of it. Ooh.
A pick-me friend.
I'm excited. It's been about 2 years since this happened, but I just got confirmation from a friend who attended her tattoo appointment that it was because of what I said. The backstory. I, a 25-year-old woman, was introduced to Peggy, a 25-year-old woman, through a mutual friend. She had recently moved into a friend's neighboring apartment unit and was quickly introduced to our friend group. Almost immediately, I could tell we weren't going to get along based off of some backhanded compliments that were given, but I decided that it was too quick to judge her fairly and invited her to a game night that a friend and I were hosting. Huge mistake. Game 1, sardines. During a drunken game of sardines in the dark, Peggy faked a fall and pushed my head into a shelf. How do I know she faked it? Because she literally told me in front of everyone and laughed about it, saying, I found him first, that's why I pushed you. Game 2, King's Cup. Peggy called me out during the Never Have I Ever portion for having gone through a divorce. Talking about it normally would have bothered me since everyone who was there already knew about it and were really supportive during that time, but it was the fact that she was trying to single me out and shame me for it. Throughout the rest of the night, this kind of behavior continued, and by the end, I was thoroughly convinced she had some sort of vendetta against me. Finding out what, or in my case, who it was, took almost no time at all. One of our friends, who we'll call Mark, was in attendance that first night. Mark, 28-year-old man, is a tall, kind, funny, and generally attractive guy. Essentially, he's catnip for her type. At this time, we were pretty close friends, and Peggy did not like that. For the next 6 months, anytime he was around, I had to deal with the most ridiculous, awkward, and petty attempts of her trying to single me out or embarrass me. Now here's where the tattoo comes into play. I'd been planning on getting a dragon tattoo for over a year. I am fully aware that dragons are a common and trending tattoo, but I wanted it anyway because it was special to me and my mom. I had even worked with my tattoo artist on incorporating her favorite flowers into the piece and figuring out what kind of style/other details I wanted. About a month before my appointment, Peggy heard a friend and I talking about the tattoo and started asking questions. I swear I could see the moment the light bulb went off in her head because she grew the biggest shit-eating grin I've ever seen. My light bulb moment happened shortly after. When she asked where and what kind of dragon tattoo I wanted to get, I lied. I told her about how much I loved the movie Spirited Away, because I do, it's a banger, and went on a tangent about how I grew up on that movie, how my dad showed it to me, and that it'd be cool if he, Haku, was wrapped around my arm or something. Peggy had never seen this movie before, so I encouraged her to check it out and ended the conversation there. Now, considering she had never seen it before, I didn't think she'd actually do it, but read it, she did it. And it wasn't just a tiny cutesy little thing either. She committed to my exact description. The thing is freaking huge. When she showed it to me 2 weeks later, I was in shock. And
2 weeks?
2 weeks later, I was in shock, and she probably thought I was upset for taking something from me. But I went home that night and switched between feeling awful for lying to her and laughing for how utterly unbelievable she was for doing it. 2 years later, and I'm still doing that. I had confessed to a friend recently about my lie, and that's when she told me. She went to the tattoo appointment with Peggy that day, and word for word, Peggy had said, she's going to be so upset. This is like the exact tattoo she wanted.
What the
Okay,
hell?
all right.
All right, we have an update.
Oh, ready?
Holy fuck, I showed this post to the friend who went with her to the appointment, and she was kind enough to supply a picture of the tattoo in progress. The crazy thing is, she did this to her too with a tattoo commemorating her favorite music artist. From her, quote, I initially wanted the tattoo because he's literally my favorite artist, and so I sent my artist, the one you met, my reference photo, and she said she wanted to come because she was thinking about getting one too. So we got there, and he started doing my stencil and stuff, and when she saw, she said, oh my gosh, that's so cute. It would be so cool if we got matching tattoos.
No.
I, being excited and at this point having no issues with her whatsoever, was like, yeah, girl, it's your body. So I just was like, okay, and let it happen. I guess it's a memento for her. She got the exact same thing and exact same placement too. Look at how big this tattoo is.
Oh my God.
That is a whole sleeve. That's an entire arm.
So she went, so the second that OP was like, oh yeah, I want to get the Spirited Away dragon tattooed on my arm. Here's how I want to have it done. This girl was like, I'm going to go do that right now.
Which I don't even know if that's a pick-me friend as much as it just kind of sounds like a bully.
I'm so confused. I'm like, are you bullying yourself here? Like, you're getting tattoos? Like, you're doing all this stuff.
But her motivation is to upset this other person. And it's like, so you're willing to get a permanent tattoo on your entire arm because you think that it's going to really upset another person.
Okay, so remember what I said when I believe in the goodness of people earlier in that last story?
Yeah.
I'm remembering how many people there are.
Yeah.
And
Oh, right.
unfortunately,
There's a lot of people.
there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And
Most
so-
are good.
And even that, I'm like, oh God. It's like, it's good, bad, whatever, the gray. There's so many people who just operate on such a different wavelength that I'm like, I kind of know this person.
Right.
I think I've met this person. And it's like, as soon as someone has an idea, they're like, that's mine now.
Yeah.
That's my idea. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna do it. Me. I'm like, well, yeah, because you don't have original thoughts and you can't make things by yourself. You need other people to do it for you.
That comment that she made, I think, is just really like messing with me.
She's gonna be so pissed.
She's gonna be so pissed because it's like at first, especially with the update, with the other story of like, oh, we should do matching tattoos. That gives more of like somebody who is maybe not as strong with their sense of self and is kind of trying to find a place within their personality and maybe kind of borrowing or taking other people's desires, like their favorite movie, their favorite musician. Like, why would you want those tattooed on your body?
I think this reminds me of the people who are like, bringing other people down makes them feel good because they feel so down. It's like just like stealing stuff.
Like maybe making them feel less special and being like, I will also have this so that you can't be possibly better than me.
Just taking away things from other people is the best thing they can do for themselves.
I think so.
But it's such a self-own. I don't know. I'm like, you got a huge tattoo on your arm and you're like, haha, owned. I'm like, is this a sketch?
Right.
This feels like a It's Always Sunny episode.
You're banking on them being more miserable about it than you.
And that's a permanent thing you just did. And that's a lot of money. That's definitely over $1,000 and a lot of time. And you have that forever. People are gonna be 20 years from then and be like, oh, I like that tattoo. It's like, yeah, I wanted to piss someone off.
Right. I want to go back to the game night, because the other example I think that stood out to me was in King's Cup when they were playing Never Have I Ever, and it sounds like Peggy had something to say like, oh, never have I ever been divorced, and it sounds like she maybe was the only one to put her finger down, and that also feels directly.
That's immediate too. That's the first meeting.
Yeah.
This is a jealous person.
I think so. Just somebody who wants to call out another person's flaws.
Or like, it kind of reminds me of Peter from Heroes, how he like takes other people's power. Or the spirit from Avatar: The Last Airbender that takes people's faces.
Yeah.
What's it called?
The face.
Ko, the face stealer.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I actually think this woman is just the face stealer.
I mean, it really is. It's like you have no face of your own. You have to take everyone else's to create a personality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, the best case scenario is like she goes to therapy or like has a big reconciliation and goes, oh, wow, I'm awful. I'm being a horrible person. And then she just has that tattoo forever.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a lot to get removed.
I don't think she was thinking ahead in any of these decisions.
Think there's much thought going on.
No. It sounds like this is how I feel right now, and this is going to maybe make me a little bit happy.
This is really
it's permanent.
This is some very like look, she's awful. But I'm curious as to what her motivations deep down, because this feels like she got stuck somewhere as like a 5-year-old. Because this is stuff like 5-year-olds do, right? When it's like, oh, you have that toy, I want that toy.
Just copycatting.
Oh, now that you have that toy, I want that toy. She is stuck in that line of thinking as a 25-year-old.
Right.
Because I'm like, it's perplexing, this type of like thinking that she's doing.
You're right. I think, who's to say, but we can maybe predict that somewhere along the line she became really lost with her own identity. And now she's kind of going around taking from other people's and finding some sense of self-esteem in that, or like pleasure in just making other people feel a little more uneasy, maybe like she is.
Yeah. I just want to see how far people could go with it. Just being like, oh, what are you guys up to this week? And they're like, oh, I'm just going to strap meat to myself and go to a swamp.
And she'll be like, oh, me too.
With an alligator swamp. She's like, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
It's like, great.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, there's a bear cave over there. I'm gonna, go walk into it.
Totally.
Yeah. See what she would do.
Right.
It'd be really funny. I forgot to read the comments. God damn, that's some dedication just to get on your nerves, LMAO. Or maybe she was just that desperate to be you. Either way, depending on the execution, Spirited Away, especially Haku, is a pretty good choice for a tattoo.
True.
The anime is a classic, and the dragon's design can be pretty cool. So I guess it's not too bad for her, LOL. Someone said, as much as the idea is cool and the concept of Spirited Away is beautiful aesthetic, I think it's still bad for her because intrinsically, she knows that it's not part of her essence. At one point, she will come to her senses, and when she realizes that she wasted her skin just to irritate or try to be the other person, it will be bad for her. And I would make it very clear to her and make sure she knew just to make fun of her. Someone said, I think I'd be pissed at my friend for not telling me sooner that she said that when they went to get the tattoo. OP said, this would be a fair point, but me and her became friends after the incident. During this time, we were just acquaintances, mutual friends, and she ended up cutting Peggy off for her own reasons. before we became close. Yeah, I don't think Peggy's gonna have too many friends. So, wow.
Yeah, not so much friends as inspiration to clone.
Yeah. Peggy's full on like a sketch character. Like that's a hilarious character.
Yeah, yeah.
Person who's gonna copy you no
Right.
matter what.
And OP sort of is like, let's see how far she'll go.
And I'm very happy with what they did.
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
Before I get into the next confession, trigger warning, death. This comes from True Off My Chest, was posted in June of 2024. My negligence cost my partner her life, and I'm about to lose everything. All right, buckle up.
Hate that.
I have a feeling Peggy's about to look like a very,
A saint.
like a saint. Yeah. Everybody that we just read about, the shallow girl from earlier, we're
You're
gonna miss her
fine.
dearly.
Yeah.
I'm nervous.
Me too. I, a 35-year-old man, have been married to Lisa, a 28-year-old woman, for 3 years, together 7. A year ago, I fell deeply in love with Amy, 24-year-old woman, and had been planning to end my marriage for her. I know it's terrible and not what my wife deserves, but we were the real thing. 2 weeks ago, she had an allergic reaction when we were getting food after work, but she used her EpiPen and seemed mostly okay afterwards. She usually gets checked at the hospital after a reaction, but I asked if I could take her home and she could get her friend to drive her there because my wife was expecting me back. All I know is that she had a secondary reaction that evening and died. I didn't even find out about it until the following Monday through a work email. It has been eating me up ever since, and I will never forgive myself for not sacrificing an hour of my time to possibly save her. I sent some childish messages to Amy when I didn't hear from her over the weekend because I thought she was angry I didn't take her to the hospital. I am thankful she never saw them and ashamed that I assumed the worst. Our relationship was great and the highs far outweighed the lows, but I've always hated being ignored and I lose my cool when it happens. It is not a regular occurrence and I would have more than made it up to her. Yesterday at work, HR and legal were in the CEO's office all day, and my manager ended up canceling our project meeting because he was with them all afternoon. I was on edge, but an affair isn't exactly a corporate crisis, and I thought something would have already happened if anyone knew. I am now 99% certain it was about me. A few hours ago, I received a message from Amy's phone which said, "This is Amy's brother, Tom. I want you to know it was me." I tried to call, but it went straight to voicemail and none of my messages have been delivered. I tried to call my manager more times than I should have, and he sent a message saying, "Please don't contact me until Monday morning. I can't discuss anything with you right now." So it looks like my universe is going to collapse. I'm going to be fired, and my wife will definitely find out why. All I can do is hope that Amy's brother only showed them the messages from that weekend, and they were bad enough. I have no family except my wife and daughter and nowhere to go. All of my friends are either people I've met through my wife or my colleagues. On Monday, everything I've spent over a decade working towards disappears. I can't stop it. I can't talk to anyone about it. So here I am. I know cheaters are the devil, so I'm not expecting sympathy, but this is making my chest hurt and I need to get it out there.
I knew it was going to be allergy.
Okay, so
I knew it.
we have a lot of people with allergies at Smosh, and they've explained this to me that when you use an EpiPen, you then immediately need to go to the hospital.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not, an EpiPen's not like you're done, you're good.
Yeah.
And it's you use an EpiPen, it's kind of like, all right, you've delayed this, is my understanding. Basically, I just understand like, it's not over. It's still going, go to the hospital. Mm-hmm. So they use the EpiPen and he's like, oh yeah, can you get someone to take you to the hospital? I'm out.
Oof.
Can't be revealed
You're
as a
not dying
cheater.
right now just yet, so.
That is like an
He's talking about like, I know I'm a
entanglement.
cheater, I'm the devil. I'm like, that's not even somehow the worst thing you've done here, man.
Right.
It's like you don't care for either of them enough.
You don't care about anyone.
No,
Good God.
And while you were committing this heinous act of cheating on your wife, a worse thing happened, and that is what he's admitting to.
And at the end of all of this, cheating on his wife, he has, frankly, largely in part allowed someone to pass away for just not caring about them and taking them to the hospital. All he's talking about is his world collapsing.
Right.
He's like, my friend group, my job, all this stuff. Oh, this is so awful. It's like someone died.
And there's
Their life
no
is
guilt.
over.
There's no grief. What about this
He's
person?
not even. Yeah, he's not going on about Amy.
Nothing. Not even.
He's not going on about Amy and being like, "Oh my God, I can't believe she passed away. This is so awful." No, he's immediately
I
thinking
get
about
mad
himself.
when people ignore me, so I don't. Even though she was dead and not answering my texts, I got mad. It's not like I feel so bad.
But he's describing it as childish. And if he's saying that he's gets upset when people ignore him, it sounds like he's like, Amy, hey, Amy, stop being so immature. I'm sorry I didn't take you to the stupid hospital. I had to come back to my wife so that she didn't figure out that I was cheating on her.
But he also probably was texting her about the allergic reaction.
Yes.
And so they know, they have the trail of like, oh,
He knew.
she used the EpiPen. And then he drove her home and asked if she could have someone else pick her up from home to take her to the hospital. That's a lot of time. Dude, you're already awful. Just lie. Like, find some other lie to tell at that moment. Someone's life is at stake.
Right. At that point, other things jump to the top of the list, which is save this person's life, deal with everything else going on underneath that after the fact.
I also don't trust this guy at all when he writes, she had an allergic reaction. We were getting food after work, but she used her EpiPen and seemed mostly okay afterwards. She seemed mostly okay.
No.
I don't know, man.
No, not good.
I don't buy anything from this
Did we talk about the brother already?
how the brother, this is Amy's brother, Tom. I want you to know it was me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Straight up Game of Thrones shit.
Oh, he's about to Batman this dude.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is the worst guy.
It's like as if you're trying to, excuse the cheating, the affair. He's trying to appeal to us and be like, listen, I know it's a terrible thing. She doesn't deserve that. But like Amy, like this is the real thing. I love her so much. And then goes on to tell the story where he completely ignores her and is the reason she had a second allergic reaction and died.
Yeah.
Like, so none of that means anything to you. Like those words are empty. They're nothing. This man has zero consideration for any of the women in his life, any person in his life.
At no point in this story do I believe this guy loves anyone. Because Amy's the real deal. She dies, and he says nothing else about her.
No, at all.
He's completely focused on himself. He was like, oh, my wife, who I now hate, but I found a newer model that I like. I think that's how his sick brain works.
It feels like there also isn't even that much language about his already existing marriaging crumbling.
Or
it's like,
daughter.
he's like, oh, all my friends that I got through this, oh, my job, everything else that's gonna collapse when this comes out. Like, it's not even this concern of, oh, I lost my wife, I lost this other person that I was having an affair with. Like, it's all about him.
I also think it's funny when people end these types of posts with like, I know cheaters are the devil, so I'm not expecting sympathy. It's like, yeah, man, you know the reaction you're about to get. Like, think about that.
Yeah.
Like, you need to change entirely.
Yeah.
You need help desperately. Comments. Tom has real Olenna Tyrell energy, true king shit. Someone said, wow, you hate being ignored but are totally cool with ditching your wife and child? Are you really this self-centered? You probably have been ignoring your wife and child for ages over a lady you couldn't stand to not respond due to her medical emergency. She had a reaction in front of you and you got mad instead of maybe possibly thinking she was dealing with anaphylaxis. Everything that's about to happen to you is your karma. So lastly, someone said, it sounds like childish messages is shorthand for abusive language. Your lack of family is a choice you made when you cheated on your wife. The real victims here are Amy, her family, your wife, and your daughter. The best thing you can do is make better choices and try to start being a decent human being.
It breaks my heart when there's a kid involved like that, too.
Oh, my God.
Like, how irresponsible do you have to be?
Yeah.
I mean, we could go on and on about how awful this guy is, but update. I don't know why he came back.
Oh, God.
Like, dude, you know there's nothing
Tell
to be
us you
said.
got fired.
Maybe it's
Tell
a big
us
life
there's a
change.
lawsuit.
Update. I have been consistently harassed for an update since posting, so please take it. Gloat because you're such wonderful people in comparison, then stop following me around Reddit. God damn. I am suffering in the wake of my infidelity and unprofessional behavior as I knew I would. I understand that it is an appropriate outcome and I am taking full accountability. I was suspended from work on Monday and I'll probably be fired sooner than I thought. I'd hoped to be able to save money as HR built their case, but it looks like Amy's brother basically performed the entire investigation for them. After an excruciating 3-hour run-through of everything they had, I spoke to the founder and he recommended the solicitor I am now using. The issue is that the company has come down hard to protect themselves, because even though Amy's family doesn't have much chance of a claim, any suggestion of a cover-up could cause damage regardless. The founder still thinks my offer to pay them back will keep it out of court, and some more information has come to light, so it's not certain I won't be prosecuted, but I'm quietly hopeful. I can't afford to keep the solicitor if this goes much further, especially with a divorce on the horizon. Things are not good with my wife. I'm still committed to making this as easy as possible for her, but I had to draw a line when it came to my daughter. When I got home from being unceremoniously escorted out of my office, she already had a bag packed for me. She wouldn't let me wait at the house until my daughter was back. She wouldn't let me check I had everything I needed. She wouldn't let me take the car, and she didn't care that I had nowhere to go. I spent 2 nights in a hotel, then went back when she refused to let me see my little girl. She tried to stop me, but we own the house jointly and it was my only option. My wife has family she could stay with, but she won't leave our daughter here and she's absolutely not taking her. So we're at a stalemate right now. I'm keeping out of her way as best I can, which I appreciate is the least I can do. The Amy situation is quite difficult to talk about and a lot hasn't sunk in yet. It turns out that she didn't love me as much as I loved her, if at all. Oh my God. Her brother sent me images of her talking to her friends about me, and it's hard to believe they came from the person I loved, but they are real. Sorry to those who were heavily invested in me being a predatory abuser, but she and her friends had a good laugh about her manipulating me for money and a promotion. The role came with a big pay raise, and it looks like her plan was to treat it as free cash, then go work with one of her friends when it fell through. She knew I'd come under scrutiny whenever she messed up and assumed I'd keep stepping in to save her. She was right. Obviously, I'm completely humiliated. I was planning to give up everything to build a life with her, and she was treating me like a joke the whole time. My feelings are complicated, so please don't feel entitled to any expansion on this, but I no longer feel guilt over her death. Reddit acted like I kept her hostage while she begged for help. What actually happened was that I asked if she could ask her friend to take her to the hospital because I had to go home. She said that was fine because she needed to get some clothes back from her anyway, and I dropped her off as normal. Ultimately, she was an adult who had a better understanding of her medical needs than I did. I still don't know what happened between us saying goodbye and her death, but whatever it was, it had nothing to do with me. I'm sorry for her family's loss, but I bear no responsibility for her passing. After Amy's messages to her friends were passed around, a few people quietly reached out with words of support. I assumed everyone would write me off like Reddit did as an abuser and predator. Now it's clear that Amy was using me. They see me as a fool who had then lost it all. It's beyond humiliating, but I have learned I'd rather be pitied than despised. It improves my legal position with work. They're small mercies, but I'll take what I can get. I remain filled with regret, and I will have learned many lessons by the time I get through this. I may have been deceived, but I am a grown man who made my choices, and I take full responsibility for them.
It felt like we were starting to get somewhere.
And then he just fully went back down to hell.
Truly, truly. I mean, to have everybody turn on their perspective again, like, oh, you know, Amy mistreated me. Actually, I'm the victim.
It's also like, yeah, she was mistreating me while I was trying to manipulate her with money and my position of power.
Yeah, 100%. And cheating on my wife and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'm kind of also at the end of it, I'm like, I kind of don't care, man. Like, I don't care if she was worse than that. She used an EpiPen. She's probably not in her right mind. She's dealing with anaphylaxis. And you dropped her off and you were like, oh, well, she's an adult. She can handle it.
Yeah.
At the time, this was the person you wanted to build a life with and loved more than anything.
Right.
I don't believe that. You did not act as such.
Yeah.
And now that you're finding all this information that's justifying all your horrible thoughts.
Yeah.
And your self-centeredness and your cruelty.
He's excusing himself.
He was always going to find a reason to justify.
Yeah.
We knew that.
Which is what's confusing, because he starts off by saying, I'm taking full accountability.
Whenever people say that, though.
It's also so, like, I got to step in and save her whenever she messed up. Like, I got to come in and, like, save her, like, at work whenever she, like, messed up. That is so, like, gross to me. It's so, like, I get to save her. I get to fix her mistakes and save her. It's like Princess.
I'm like, I don't care what she was saying to her friends. I don't care about any of it. When we've now gone past, like, we've gone past infidelity and petty squabbles, whatever. She died.
She died, yeah.
And we're going down to that moment of, and you acted so selfishly.
And was it her brother that sent the messages to him again and was just like, I want you to know all of this was happening too, you know?
I think
he
so.
sent the screenshots of what her friends were saying with Amy.
Yeah, I think that's how he found out. There was a lot, so.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of like, he's like, oh, but look at all this stuff. It's like, dude, you're getting fired from your job. You have to pay them to avoid a court case. This is all adding up, and the evidence is showing you are worse than you're letting on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Your wife knows we're cheating, and then probably from her perspective, with not having all the information, is like, I don't know what's going on. Did you murder this woman?
Yeah.
And
Like,
I draw the line at my daughter. No, you f***ing don't.
You don't get to draw any lines now, man.
Yeah, no, not at all. It's and he's like acting
She is getting
entitled.
full custody.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, sorry, you might be responsible. The person you were cheating, having an affair with is dead.
Yeah.
And you were with her that night. You're never seeing your daughter again.
Right.
What happened to the friend? He dropped her off, and the friend was supposed to take her to the.
That's what from my understanding is he was like, oh, I need to get back to my wife so she doesn't find out I'm cheating. You just used an EpiPen. Let me drop you off at home. And she goes, yeah, I guess I could be dropped off at home. I need to change clothes anyways.
And then my friend
And then
could
drops
take
her
me.
off. Doesn't wait for a friend to show up. Doesn't just
By
drops her off
herself?
by herself at home and then leaves.
Crazy.
Yeah. And like I said, I don't know much about the situation itself. But it's just, if someone is in a situation where they have to use an EpiPen, where they have to use life-saving measures,
Yeah.
someone needs to be with them.
And like, even so, again, it's a terrible, terrible thing that he's doing when he's having this affair, but he could even try to put the words together of like, I was desperate to go home and like not get caught, and now I feel so bad, I should have stayed, I should have helped her, I should have done this. None of that.
Yeah.
Just plain excuses of, well, like I did everything that I was supposed to, and she's a grown-up and she knows her
Saying,
body.
I did everything I could. No, I hate how he, in the first post, is like, I would do absolutely everything for her. She's my world. I want to rebuild a life with her. And then suddenly it's, well, she's her own person. She can figure it out.
Yeah.
She's a grown-up. It's like, you're changing your entire tact right now, man.
100%.
You're trying to protect your own sanity right now from the fact that you are the worst person alive.
It's again, it reads similar where he doesn't have this sense of self. Again, he's being steered, even in the sentiment that he makes, where he'd rather be pitied than be despised.
Yeah.
Like that's all. It just feels like information for him on how he's supposed to feel about himself and his situation.
Yeah.
He can't come up with any of that on his own.
I think this is a thing I have read about. You can become a worse person when you do a bad thing and then justify it in your own head. You lower the bar inside your own mind. And like, you can become worse in that way. I think this guy is going to he's clearly somehow becoming a worse person.
Yeah.
Throughout all this. We have our final story here. It comes from Coworker Stories. It was posted September of 2025. I'm a coworker of someone whose Reddit story about work went viral. I'm feeling chatty, so AMA, I guess. Inspired by this post, the post we just read, someone asked if they'd ever seen a Reddit post about themselves. I'm in the comments because I worked at the same company as this guy and in the same department as his affair partner who died under very sad circumstances. You can read all about it from his perspective conveniently. I only joined Reddit quite recently, but I was aware of the post a few weeks after it was made because it was passed around the office and gave us all a ton of information, which made a lot of things suddenly make sense. We were all extremely invested at the time, and weirdly, the story you all saw set off a series of events which basically led to an entire division of the company quitting.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Oh my God. I've seen it repeated on a few of those TikTok Reddit read-through accounts, and a few people in the comments of the post I saw earlier today seemed interested. So because the company didn't think to get me to sign any additional confidentiality agreements when I left, an equally dramatic but also closely related story, I figured I'd spend a Friday night drinking wine and spilling tea if anyone wants some.
This person
We
is
want.
a godsend.
We want.
Is
One thing I do need to mention is that the original OP has a brain injury he didn't disclose in his posts. I can't speculate too much on that, but I'm not saying it makes his actions forgivable, but it'd be crazy to pretend it's not a factor. He lives independently, but from what I'm aware, his brother helps him a lot. Okay, wow. All right, so these are all comments with responses from OP. Did it end up going to court? No, they all used to abuse their expenses, and they knew he could bury everyone if it ever saw the inside of a courtroom. He claimed to be running out of money in his last post, but it was common knowledge he got a huge payout after his accident. A sign wasn't properly mounted on a shop front, and it fell on him when he was walking past, so he could have easily afforded to take it all the way. So I imagine the first question would have been why they gave someone with brain damage a company card with no restrictions and no written policy on what they could and couldn't use it for. So the company at large was corrupt. Any chance he could have spent the payout all on Amy or on drugs? I mean, I guess there's a good chance his wife would have noticed, but he obviously hadn't been thinking clearly for a long time. OP said definitely not drugs. He drank in moderation, but was pretty judgmental about anything else. Amy, absolutely. He spent thousands and thousands on her. She would link him to things over and over again until he bought them for her. The HR guys were disgusted when they got the phone back and saw all the messages. I haven't seen the messages myself, but they said enough to confirm it was extremely predatory.
Wait. Say that part again, sorry.
I haven't seen, the HR guys were disgusted when they got the phone back and saw all the messages.
So what whose phone and what?
OP's messages
OP
to
messages to her.
Amy.
I haven't seen the messages myself, but they said enough to confirm it was extremely predatory.
Got it.
Maybe I'm misreading this, but it seems like they're saying Amy was like sending links like getting him to spend money on her.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
Did any of you know she was having an affair before it all imploded? Did you attend her funeral? What's coworker doing now? We had no idea. They didn't work together directly and didn't have any reason to interact much in the office. The pairing didn't make sense to any of us. You'd never put them together in a million years. She had one friend in the office who attended the funeral and who was dismissed because of the content of their messages to each other. She was in the kind of role that can make or break a project even though she had absolutely no talent, experience, or interest. That mystery was obviously solved pretty quickly after she died. So even though it's objectively super shitty, we were basically relieved because we wouldn't have to deal with it anymore. For context, she was project managing a team of physicists and electrical engineers on a pretty heavy government-backed project, and she was initially hired as an office admin assistant with zero previous experience. We were all surprised by the promotion, but it was the kind of company you could build your way up in, so it just seemed like a misstep. Former coworker hasn't worked since, from what I know. He's living independently in what I'm vaguely aware of being a retirement-type community. But his brother deals with his finances and helps him out with general life stuff. He's allowed to drive and stuff, so he's obviously fine in the ways that matter, but I'm not sure he'll work again. Someone said he never mentioned the traumatic brain injury in his post. In your opinion, did he think of his abilities as diminished post-accident? Do you think he could see any of his new shortcomings? Your company wrapped him in cotton wool to protect him, it seems. Was he aware of any of these accommodations? I wonder because the traumatic brain injury makes his actions seem far less callous than if he had all his faculties. His personality definitely changed significantly. He can hold a conversation and his knowledge level remained extremely high, but he became quite immature and couldn't deal with anything if he wasn't expecting it. He could provide really insightful feedback about something we were working on, then 2 minutes later lose his temper or shut down completely because he'd spilled a drink. He had to step back from dealing with clients because he couldn't be trusted. He'd just say yes to whatever they asked for, and it led to a few nasty surprises. He didn't take any new clients after the injury, so they were generally very understanding because they saw the same changes we did. It's tough to explain. If you met him on a good day, you could spend a few hours with him and not realize, but any more than that, and you'd almost certainly go through, oh, that was a bit odd, to, okay, there's definitely something wrong here. To my knowledge, nobody tried to figure out how aware he was of the brain injury. The key phrase drummed into us when he started coming back to the office a bit was, meet him where he is. And he was a really well-respected member of the team, so we were all really sympathetic to the situation. I did hear him make a few comments about his brain being broken, but they were fairly lighthearted and mainly centered around him forgetting small things.
This sucks.
This sucks a lot.
unfortunately, it does kind of change a lot, too.
It absolutely. Now it shifts from him being predatory to her being predatory, using the brain injury to not only climb up through the company, but manipulate him financially.
Yeah.
God.
And I don't know if the timeline lines up as well, but I'm feeling like I'm going back to the other story of him having this happy marriage and this daughter. And then I feel like he said, like, but about a year ago, I fell for somebody else. Like, that also just feels like that complete behavior change has to do with that, these choices that he's making and the contradicting lines that we're talking about of him caring so much about his daughter, but then making this like crazy choice to cheat on his family. It's like, well, he's got a brain injury. He's not thinking straight.
Yeah, it's always a fresh reminder for me, and I try to keep this in mind whenever we're reading a story of like, we're missing most of the angles of a story, even when it seems so clear cut.
Yeah.
But whenever we get a third party perspective, and it's just like, oh, and there's always so much crucial information, and it doesn't necessarily change the situation, right? Like, it's like he still abandoned her when she needed someone, but it's like, oh, but you introduce a brain injury into this story, and I'm like, well, now I don't know what's going on.
It's also interesting because he wrote the original story and he still seemed like the asshole, but he omitted a big part, which was which I wouldn't want to talk about that all the time either.
Yeah.
And I'm curious if like the wife is considering any of that.
I mean, where this is now at is in a place where I'm like, I can't.
We don't know enough.
I can't offer any. My views are as good as anyone else's.
I want to see the messages.
I'm not a neurologist, but it is scary, and I've heard that a brain injury can completely change a person.
Totally.
It was just so scary.
Well, and also just like affect the decision making, right? Because a lot of what we were giving feedback on and critiquing were his choices.
Yeah.
The affair, and I mean, the crux of the whole story was him choosing to let somebody who just had an allergic reaction not go immediately to the hospital. Like, it's clear that that was a reason for his misjudgment, too.
Yeah, who we know absolutely for certain is an asshole is the entire company. Because he got a brain injury. It sounds like they completely swept it under the rug.
Yeah.
Completely. We're just like, yeah, you're fine. Everything's good. Which then led to all these other events.
Yep.
And so like, the company was corrupt, the way they were spending money and everything.
Yeah.
So all these awful things happened under it.
But it sounds like he should not have continued in that job position.
And having a credit card with no restrictions or anything. I mean, this was wild.
Yeah, the company too.
This is
like
wild.
She was an ad administrator, and now she's like running things.
Government-backed projects?
She's not equipped to be running the things that she's running, and yet.
Oh, God.
And they had to show up every time and be like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I guess. Even though she's not equipped.
Yeah. This is one of the wildest stories we've ever read.
It's just that there's so much nuance.
There is so much going on in one story. No, this is I need a mini series out of this.
Yeah.
I'm sad she passed away. Like, that's tragic.
Yeah.
Right, and regardless of her actions before, it's still tragic.
that doesn't mean like
Death.
Yeah,
No.
none of that adds up to she deserved what happened.
None of it, yeah.
And here's the crazy thing. We covered a couple questions. OP, the coworker, answers way more.
Oh, that's
so there's
awesome.
probably way more information. So if you're listening to this, watching this, go to that Reddit story.
Yeah.
There's probably so much more.
She like tucked
it.
into her couch with that glass of wine and
Yeah.
was just like, oh, yes.
No, that's a story you talk about forever.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Whew.
Wow.
Damn. Anyways, thank you both for joining me for that ride.
People
Wow.
had to get stuff off their chest.
Oh my God. So at the end of it all, Peggy's the worst.
Yes.
Agreed.
I think we can agree Peggy is
Because her name is Peggy.
because her name's Peggy.
Yeah.
No, and this isn't Mad Men. Stop it.
Yes.
Or-
enough.
with
Or
that.
Hamilton.
Yeah.
It's always funny. We read a story like that. It's like, all right, now let's go to another video where we have to be silly. Let's go be silly now. Let's go play board games. Thank you for watching, and hey, we'll see you next Saturday.
Leave a confession in the comments.
Yeah, confess. Confess in the comments.
Confess.
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 Confetti.
Confess.